Like it looks like it smells good and it smells good and it tastes good.
Yeah.
I get like a hint of like.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just describing a very attractive Japanese man right
now. Welcome back to Arsenic Culture. I'm Matt.
Jason.
I'm Justin.
I'm Brandon.
See, we almost fucked it up already. That's why I was saying it. That's why you guys say it.
My brain just shorted out. Went fuck. Oh, hi.
What do I say?
We're coming from the Ethereal cellar / dungeon.
Barrels.
Yeah, we got all our background barrels. You all got barrels in your background?
Yeah, they do. Sure.
Yeah.
We got barrels in the back. Oh, we got the big camera up there too. We got barrels in all the background.
Oh, yeah.
But we're here with Justin and Brandon again, and we just finished our episode on shochu, which is super fun. Justin wasn't here because he's a fucking loser and he couldn't be here.
Yeah.
But he was here for, I guess, arguably the more important episode. We're gonna talk about some Koji whiskey here, and I am actually really excited about this. Koji whiskey is. You know what? We talked about this the last episode.
Yeah, we don't need to go back over it again.
But we do because
Reference episode. I don't know what episode.
I don't actually know.
Episode
So
30.
probably.
100.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Yeah, we're on. This will be not. Well, this will be 99.
This will be not.
dang.
Oh shit! Not only that, we got episode 100 coming up really
Yeah, we
soon,
do.
and we're going to be
Yeah,
doing
we
something
do.
really fun for that one.
Strippers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I won't give it away, but
not at all. But
Like
yes.
Steven, like Under Siege, Steven
Also,
Seagal.
yeah, fucking.
Out of the
what's
cave.
her name? what was her name? She was in Baywatch.
Pamela Anderson.
I was saying Eliza Dushku.
I think there's,
Yeah.
I think there's only Pamela Anderson in Baywatch. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Erica Aleniak. That was her
Yeah.
name. Oh.
What?
Don't know
Yeah, I
her.
just
Don't
pulled
know
that
her.
out.
I mean, her name
Nowhere.
sounds cool.
Yeah, she's fucking Baywatch fame, popping out of the cake.
We knew
and
her
Under
as Cinnamon.
Siege.
Man, I don't want to be in your
Mercedes.
mind.
Yeah. Where the fuck are we? What were we talking about?
Koji whiskey. We were
Whoa,
trying.
wait a second.
I guess you talked about it in a past episode, and I was trying
Yeah,
to
we were
reference.
talking about shochu last episode, and we kind of need to refresh here. So, super excited about this one. Koji whiskey is a Japanese whiskey, but it is not made in the standard way that Americans understand whiskey as being made. It uses koji, which is a type of fungus. Now, we talked about this, Brandon, in our last episode, shochu, but for anybody that did not tune in last week, explain to us again what koji, or Justin.
Yeah, get the toji.
We'll do Justin this time because Brandon did it last time. Tell us about, you deal with koji on a daily basis over at The Void Sake Brewery. Tell us about what is koji.
Koji is basically a domesticated mold. It's grown. It's Aspergillus orizae we use in sake, but there's different strains that are made for miso, sochu, and then awamore. They all use different strains, but they're an Aspergillus mold that you grow on most time rice,
Right.
or soybean or barley. But the Aspergillus mold that's grown on that medium is called koji. So koji rice, koji barley, koji soybean.
Okay, but koji, so there's the koji fungus, which is the Aspergillus orizae. But koji, except when you say koji, you're actually referring to the, I guess the starter. As I asked you about this last time, I guess
It's
that's
actually
the actual starter, which is inoculated in the medium, which would be rice or
It'd
barley
be like
in this case.
it'd be like the finished product. So like the culture itself. So if I grow it on rice, like it would be koji rice. Or if
Gotcha.
I grew it on barley, koji barley.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, so the koji is the mold on the thing,
Okay.
kind of that thing. But yeah, it's the mold that grows on there.
I'm paying attention to you. I'm
Yeah.
trying to pull up my notes. I forgot to pull up my notes.
He's
As
actually not
talking,
paying attention at all.
But yeah, so
Promise.
it in the process-wise, it takes the place of like malting. So
Right.
you're basically they're just enzyme factories. They just make enzyme and flavor.
That's one thing that I kind of learned in this, delving through the information in this, is that I always thought, we talked about beer. We not say grew up in beer. We like know beer pretty well.
I started drinking. I was about 12. So
I know. I was at 11, so I win.
Yeah.
But
I was 10.
You talk about
Sorry.
fermentation, I just assumed fermentation was the product of turning sugar into alcohol, but fermentation is actually just kind of a generalized kind of like action. And koji does the same thing. It just doesn't turn things into alcohol. It just it malts the grain or the rice or whatever.
Yeah, it takes place of malting.
Yeah, but it creates just like 100 different, like a myriad of different like flavor compounds.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more complex than just like what yeast does.
Yeah, and for something like this, like, you know, a lot of American whiskeys and bourbons will use like malt to get those
Correct.
enzymes. Something like this that uses koji could just use raw barley, something that hasn't
Yeah.
gone through the malting process. So it could be, I mean, you're going to get different flavors because of that from that barley than if it was malted or raw.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So this, what we have here is koji fermented Takamine whiskey. Wow, that was
Whiskey with the koji.
Whiskey,
baby.
Takamine whiskey. This is an 8-year-old beverage from Japan, coming in at around 40% alcohol.
It looks very light. Like if you
Yeah.
compare
It
it to like a
does.
bourbon
Most
or
Japanese
something,
whiskeys
you know.
are pretty light
Yeah.
in general.
I wonder, you know, it makes me wonder, like, I mean, 8 years in a barrel with White Dog from, like, you know, Buffalo Trace or wherever,
Right.
It's a lot
changes a
darker.
lot.
Well,
I wonder what the difference is.
We do medium toast, like for bourbon.
Good point.
They might be doing a lighter toast. They might be using
So the
used
char
bourbon
in the
barrels.
barrel. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I wonder if they're using like that or
why a lot of-
Scotch barrels.
That's why a lot of Scotch, you know, is a lot lighter in colors because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
it's a used bourbon barrel.
I know Woodford, we've done a tour there a few times throughout the years. I know they actually send the majority of their barrels overseas for Scotch. So, like, they're already earmarked. Like, if you get your own bottle, like if they'll bottle your whatever, you can't get the barrel. Like, it's going overseas for Scotch every single time.
Yeah.
So, I'd say makers, some of the bigger ones do that.
And I wonder if maybe that some of that stems from like its origins in Japan, because shochu, as we talked about in our last episode, is typically a very pale and or clear beverage where it's either completely filtered out to where there is no particulates or color in it, or it's unaged. You know, it comes across as like a very clear spirit. So
Well, it's unaged. I mean, they're not putting it in barrels.
right, and I wonder if maybe like the impetus of this is like they just like harken back to like keeping with tradition.
Yeah, well, I know that a big inspiration of Japanese whiskey was Scotch.
Yeah.
They literally sent their distillers over to Scotland to learn how to make that good shit.
Yeah.
And then they came back and
Yeah.
kind of
And then-
mimicked the
remember-
process.
I
And
remember
then
the first
also
time-
learned that like I didn't know this until was talking with some Japanese distillers, but apparently the soil over there is very similar to like the Highlands of Scotland. Like there's a lot of peat over there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
I did not know
in
that.
Japan. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I've had a lot of Japanese whiskeys that do have a smoke, like a discernible smoke character,
Yeah.
similar to Scotch.
Yeah. Usually when I think of Scotland, I think of Japan
yeah,
because
exactly.
they're the exact same place. That's
yeah.
Because you're
Facts,
insane.
facts optional. Facts
like-
no.
optional.
I did not know that.
There's a history of a lot of clans fighting amongst one another.
Oh, okay. Actually, you're right.
I just made that up. so-
No, but
No, that's
seriously,
true.
there are a lot of parallels in that regard. So, touche, friend. Well played. Well played.
I remember, you know, the first time I looked at that, so Japanese whiskey, Hibiki, I would see it on the shelf, and one of my former supervisors I worked with actually bought a nice bottle of that and tried it, and he's like, man, you need to try this. I'm like, I'm kind of a bourbon guy, right?
Yeah.
He's like, look, try it straight, and then try it with a cube, or try it with a little water. So I did straight. It tasted peaty, like it was like Scotch a little
Yeah.
bit, you know. I don't like smoke in whiskey or beer generally.
really either, yeah.
But with water, it changed it exponentially. Like it wasn't even the same beverage.
Yeah.
You couldn't convince me it's the same beverage.
it opened it up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
The smoke was like on a scale of 1 to 10, it went from being a 7 to a 1. You know, like it was
Yeah.
barely there.
wow.
So it was,
Wow. Okay, yeah.
it was-
I've noticed
and-
that too. I haven't drank a lot of Scotch and hated it for the longest time. Tasted like licking a campfire to me, but
100%.
yeah.
but like yeah, just adding that cube on the rocks,
Yeah.
like
Makes a big
it's very
Well, you
good.
have different
and there's
ones
also
too,
different.
and I don't know enough about Scotch to even really talk about it, but there's different areas that produce
Yeah.
like different smoke or whatever.
And
it
I didn't
is.
know that when I tried
Yeah,
it. I
same
think
thing
somebody
here.
gave me like the smokiest one. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you like beer? How about you try this? Like,
Yeah.
like the.
You like beer? Here's some Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah, it's a Mad
You'll
Dog.
like this too. I swear.
or just Utopus or something.
yeah.
like,
So some of the history on, I guess, this Koji whiskey, Takamine whiskey. Koji whiskey was actually first developed in the late 19th century by Dr. Jokichi Takamine. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not Japanese. If I pronounce it wrong, then fuck off. I really don't care. But there was a group in Peoria, Illinois called the Whiskey Trust, and they basically owned, I was telling you about this, this is really cool. They basically owned the entire whiskey trade in the United States. Every aspect from like the manufacturing of whiskey all the way back to like the growth of grain. They like every single aspect of it, they had a hand in. They didn't own it, but they like controlled like what happened. And then they heard about this Koji whiskey that Dr. Jokichi Takamine developed in Japan. They invited him over to Illinois to share his recipes, quote unquote, do some experiments with them.
I like that. That's mine.
Right. Basically, yeah. And they're like, we're gonna pay you a bunch of money. We're gonna buy your patents and your product, and we're gonna make it our own. But we're gonna compensate you. What they found out was his recipe used 12 to 15% less malt than the normal whiskey manufactured in the U.S. They saw it instead as a threat to the industry. So it ended up becoming something like contentious.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, like...
What time period is this? Like 1890s?
This was 19th century, the late 1800s.
Okay,
It's around like 1890.
We don't understand it. Witchcraft.
Exactly. So
Burn
that's what I'm saying. Like now, like people would try to capitalize on that, but back then it's
If you
like...
light it on fire and it doesn't burn, it's not a witch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention, racism was pretty rampant back then. So they're like, a Japanese is going to beat us at our own game? Fuck that, you know? So what ended up... Okay, I've heard some weird stories
I've
about...
heard some, like, yeah.
So I'm going to read this excerpt from a Forbes article.
While you're reading, can we pour some?
Yeah.
I was going to pop the cork, but there's no cork, so it's just like
It's
a
just
twist
like
off.
Okay,
Yeah.
is it really?
Is it a Zork? Or it's just a cat?
What the fuck is a Zork?
You've
never heard of a Zork?
I do know what a Zork is. It's where you like the cork was like it's got like an unravel thing on it.
Yeah, it's like a cork and a cap had
they
a
went out of
baby.
business.
That's like a shitty knockoff cartoon.
It does.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
I mean,
Can't
that
afford
was
the
a
snorts,
cartoon.
you're just gonna go for the other one.
According to Forbes, one fall night in 1891, these opponents, I'm assuming the people that represented the Whiskey Trust in Peoria, Illinois, armed themselves and broke into his distillery, his being Dr. Takamine. They broke into the distillery to assassinate him.
Yeah, this is what I was trying to tell you about, like at the beginning before we started filming. Yeah, this is nuts.
Takamine managed to escape their attacks by hiding in the basement, but his lab was completely burned down. In the following year, the trust was dissolved by the opposing members. I don't know who that was.
This sounds like some James Bond shit.
It does. It's like
I think it's a movie at
it
least.
sounds made up.
Yeah.
But it says the trust was dissolved by opposing members and the project was buried in history until now. So essentially, they brought him over. They were like, "We like what you got. Let's check it out." They saw it. They were like, "Fuck that!" And then they tried to kill him. And then they went to go murder him, and he hid.
Some Jimmy Hoffa shit.
And they're like, well, he's not here, so let's just destroy everything he had. He comes out of hiding, and he's like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So he decides to get, he was a doctor, he decides to get back into pharmacology. He moves back to Japan. He's like, I'm done with whiskey because Americans are fucking crazy. And
yeah,
they try
these
to kill
crazy
me over it.
Yanks.
Yeah.
Did he put a mustache on and just like disguise himself the way he did?
He actually had
Nobody'd
a
ever
mustache,
know
so
it.
he put a mustache on over his mustache, and that way
And
nobody-
glasses. And glasses.
and the
yeah.
glasses.
This would be a good movie.
Yeah.
It'd
This
be a
would
fucking
be.
great movie. Like, it sounds like...
I'm ready to watch it right now.
It sounds very sensational. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's true, but that is fucked up.
It is, yeah. It's it sounds like fuck. They need to make this like Oppenheimer. Like this is the
Yeah.
next Oppenheimer.
Get Christopher Nolan to direct
Yeah, Christopher
it.
Nolan.
Goddamn.
Christopher Nolan
You know
direct
what?
this
I'm
movie.
really
I
embarrassed
see
to
a
say-
4-hour movie in the future release.
I'm really
With the
embarrassed
greatest
to
Director's
sex
cut,
scene
8
there.
hours.
I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet.
I haven't
It's
either.
good.
I haven't
Yeah.
either.
Bro, I don't know. People like they faint over it. It was
Okay,
good.
I heard it was amazing.
Yeah, it's like, fucking 3 hours
Yeah.
plus, and like Cillian Murphy does a great job. I don't know.
man.
It's a good movie, but Christopher Nolan makes great movies. But it
I
is
love
long.
Cillian
It's
Murphy.
long.
Yeah.
So.
I liked
But
him in what's the series?
28 Days Later is...
No, the series.
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders,
Hell,
yeah.
hell
Peaky
yeah.
Blinders.
Dude,
Great.
I watched 1.5 episodes of Peaky Blinders.
didn't like it?
I fucking couldn't understand it.
Oh, we have to watch
wait.
it with subtitles.
I could
100%.
not understand a single word
Wait
they
till you
said.
get what's the dude's
100%.
name that Tom Hardy. Wait till you get Tom Hardy in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
I only
really?
know I can't remember his name. I couldn't understand the word he's
not-
saying.
it's
I was like, I like
super
him. I don't know what he's
gravelly.
saying,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
like him.
It might as well
it's
have
not
been in a
English.
different
It's
language.
not
No.
I've heard
Irish.
it's great,
seriously.
but
Yeah, it is
I don't know
pretty
what's
much a different
happening.
language.
It is.
It's Plankish.
Blue.
So this one we're getting ready to try here, the Takamine 8-year Koji whiskey.
Okay.
It's 100% barley, double distilled, 40% AB or 80 proof. It's actually aged in 90% virgin American oak barrels and then 10% reused bourbon barrels.
So what do you get on the
So
nose?
it's 100% barley.
Yes.
So I imagine, the koji is made on the barley.
Nose,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I get like
You got a little bit of fruit.
I get-
don't,
yeah,
I don't know
I
if
get-
I
I
can
get some
describe it, but
I get a little bit more ethanol than the shochu that we had.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, fruits. I think I really do. It is very
it's
light.
very
And it's
floral,
it's weird too, because
fruity.
like most, I looked at it, it's like y'all had barley sochu and like barley sochu, most barley sochus to me are very like white dog like.
Right. That's what we talked about too.
And that's
Yeah.
exactly what we got on the show.
And-
if you were here, you would have known that,
Nah, no.
Justin.
Sorry. Call back to the episode.
That's what we
I wasn't
call
here
it in the
for.
industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's got that like ethanol-y.
No, the fruit is actually
Yeah.
that's kind of mind-boggling. Like
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it is. It's a very bright, fruit,
Yeah.
like kind of like grape skin kind of thing going on.
I was going to say, yeah, grape nuts.
Maybe some apples or something. Very apple.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the taste for me, it's very clean.
It's very
Yeah,
smooth.
it's
Yeah.
more
Has a
smooth than I
lot
was
of-
expecting.
yeah,
Honestly,
it's a
from
lot
the
of,
flavor or from the aroma, I was expecting it to kind of go through the flavor, and the flavor seems a little bit more neutral.
Yeah.
Shit, I could drink this straight all day.
100%.
Yeah.
If I'm drinking like a good bourbon, though, like for me, the finish is where it's at. Like I love a good finish. Everybody's palate differs on that, but this one here is a little bit dry, a little bit short on
Yeah,
the finish.
yeah, it does.
But the front
I mean,
and
it's-
mid palate,
it's
like
still
it's
sticking with
lighting
me.
me up. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
It's
There's a
there.
lingering flavor, but it does the dry out the end palate and then just kind of comes back around a little bit. It's kind of odd. with
It's
that.
just sitting on my tongue. It's a little bit more viscous.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But I'm trying to pick out like any like discernible koji kind of flavor, and I don't get a lot of that like earthy umami.
Yeah, I'd be curious how many times this is distilled and like really what's
This
what's
says it was
left.
distilled twice.
Yeah.
Double distilled.
Why would they
It
distill
has
something
a
twice
slick.
like this?
I mean, it
though?
has a slickness
Clean
to
it
it.
up, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe you get more.
Comment
I mean,
if
your
you
volume
know.
goes down, right? Like if you distill something
if
again.
you distill, no, you tend to get more of a volume because you're
Really?
gonna restill your like heads and tails,
Oh,
and you're
okay,
gonna get a little
okay.
bit more out of that.
So you're adding more like water and product to it, and then distilling on top of that. Is that what you're saying?
No, I
so
think
like
they're
Clearly,
just-
I don't distill or burn.
They're just running the
the beginnings and the ends of
Yeah.
the distillation
I
process.
get tails.
This is
I got
actually
you.
yeah,
good
yeah.
information.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
So they tend to have some of those like harsher alcohols, some
Correct.
stuff, whatever that makes you fucking
So
go
it makes you
blind.
go
all that
blind.
stuff.
That's the heads, right?
So
Yeah.
they will take those and they'll redistill them,
Okay.
and then,
so that way you're definitely going to go blind.
yeah. And well, you're
Where-
you're just gonna get
What,
more.
What'd you say, Matt?
I can't hear or see you.
Where are you at?
Yeah, is it methanol?
I
that
can
you skip
still
on?
Yeah,
smell you
methanol.
though.
What?
You smell like a fucking goat's ass. I
That's
know
like
where you are.
roses.
You're
That's
over
like
here.
fucking roses. What I smell like.
I might.
Let him finish.
No, I mean that's just really like they
Oh.
just
Yeah.
restill that, so they just
It
capture
just-
a little bit more.
It
out
also
of
But when I
cleans,
think
it also
thrown
cleans
away.
it up a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as I understand, could be wrong,
When I
but
think redistillation, though, I think like it's more concentrated. Like you know what I mean? Like you're bringing stuff back through.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
then you will
Yeah.
dilute it with filtered water. And,
Okay, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it is. Honestly, though, like it's bright, it's floral. I don't know that I would pick one. And floral maybe floral's the wrong word. It's
I don't
fruity.
think no.
It's
I think
fruity.
Yeah, I could see
fruity.
both of those.
But
yeah.
it's very fresh. I guess would be the way to
Yeah.
describe it. Seriously, like the nose, the palate, it's good. I
And
mean,
that seems to, I feel like that's kind of like a running theme with a lot of the Japanese spirits that we have.
Yeah.
It is very, like, there is a bright
Yeah.
bouquet on it. It is
Oh,
very
yeah, yeah.
fresh and is very, like, bright.
It's
and
like a
personal.
well dressed, and it looks like it smells good, and it smells good, and it tastes good.
Yeah.
it's not tannic. It's not like
Yeah,
No.
it's very
I get
clean.
like a hint
Freshly
of like
shaven.
yeah,
Sorry, I'm just describing a very attractive Japanese man right now.
clean
That's
shaven.
how we describe our Japanese whiskey. It's like a very well dressed Japanese man that has been shaved.
But no, it's
all
just
the
a
way down
very
to the balls.
triple shade.
just
I will.
Manscaped.
I will-
Sponsor us. Sponsor us.
I might
Let's hear
actually
it from today's sponsor.
I think this has actually got a decent finish on it.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
what I'm used to.
Yeah.
It's not like you drink like a really deep like bourbon that's like really rich and it's got like the dark fruit
Cognac,
character.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That has a different finish. This one is a lot brighter, but it still like lingers. It is it's
clean,
but
clean,
There
that's
is
right.
like a
There's
finish
oh
that
yeah, I mean,
lingers.
yeah, I still, especially on the retro nasal or as I exhale, like I still can taste it and smell it a bit.
Yeah.
But it's not harsh like
No.
like a really strong bourbon that like or like some of those things that are a little dirty or some of the bourbons.
Yeah.
Like they just
Yeah.
it doesn't smell or taste good when you
I
exhale.
agree. Do you like them
What's-
dirty?
Bourbons?
Just anything.
Yeah, I mean,
All
I
of
don't
it.
know. Not sometimes.
So,
Depends what I'm trying to get done.
So on this one, like looking at it, if you told me if I went to a bar and got a pour of bourbon, and I could see this at the label, I would think it's a bourbon, whatever. I saw that color. There's no way I'd want this.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'd be like,
I mean, being a
I'm
bourbon
out.
drinker, I get it. You know, like-
because you want dark, you want something almost like almost
Rich.
black versus
And
sort of
yeah, like
amber,
you don't
very
get a
dark
lot of
amber.
Yeah,
a lot of like
But-
vanilla or like
You don't, but
black
honestly
tones or
though, I think
anything,
it
but
packs a
I
lot
get more
of flavor.
fruit, yeah.
It packs a lot of flavor for this color, so it's misleading in that regard.
It is.
So
It was like the shochu. The shochu was clear as
100%,
shit.
yeah,
It was
100%,
very
yes.
like flavorful.
super flavorful.
And I like to think that maybe that is a Koji characteristic.
that's what I would say.
Justin, you said that you're trying to pick out the Koji.
Yeah.
From somebody that doesn't work with Koji on a daily basis.
I should have brought some koji with me.
Just to fucking eat fungus?
Yeah,
Can you do that?
Yeah, I do it all the time when I make it. I just go. It's like
This
those.
is the guy wearing sweatpants outside of people's windows.
Just cleaning his fucking cola, just popping koji. Just
What's that growing I was here? I see something.
Yeah, you ever seen The Last of Us?
It's a mushroom coming
Don't
out.
watch it if you have. If you haven't.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes like I'll be like, click,
His
click,
head's
click.
gonna sprout like these little like fucking like.
It's koji man. Ooh.
I
somebody that-
echolocate.
Yeah, from somebody that doesn't like work in Koji on a daily basis, I actually get a shitload of that umami that we would get from like a
100%,
shochu
yeah.
or like even a sake. Like,
Yeah,
I think
it's-
it's very forefront, but it's like weird putting it into like the whiskey medium. I say weird. It's different for me because I have
Yeah,
an
yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Like this is super interesting.
Yeah, it's like a mouthfeel type thing. So like it's that the way I describe it is like it comes off earthy, mushroomy, shiitake kind
Yeah.
of flavor, almost like kind of mushroomy chestnut, nutty, but it's just umami. Like it's just
It is.
savory.
It is.
I can see the nuttiness
Mouth-watering.
too, though.
Like
It's good.
yeah, that mouthfeel in the sochu, like I kind of get that
Yeah.
with this, like on the like you were saying the mid palate.
But then in this
kind of
one, there is it's more bright than it is like the earthy. Like I get some of the undertones, but like
Yeah.
it's more the overtones in this one.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the apple. It's like the grape skin.
Oh, it's
stuff.
definitely
It's fruity, it's floral,
Yeah,
it's-
it's definitely
wow.
like at the back end. Like it's definitely like a lifter
Yeah.
flavor to it.
Looked a little bit up Koji. I mean, we've talked a lot about it. So I didn't realize that they actually make it or use it for production of soy sauce and
yeah.
then miso. Like
Yeah.
I had no idea that. I
Yeah.
thought it was just
It's a different species than what I
Okay,
use.
is it?
But
Okay.
but yeah, you can. I mean, it's surprising how robust it is and like what you can grow it on.
So as I'm saying, I mean, it seemed like
Yeah.
it used it a lot over there. I guess
yeah.
Japan,
Everything,
Yeah.
right?
That's why everything's so just flavorful and
Yeah.
rich
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there. It's like
Yeah.
this
Miso,
underlining
soy sauce,
Yeah.
and then on top of like the spirits and stuff.
Yeah. To quote Uncle Roger, "Why are you afraid of flavor?" So I tell people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at all.
You want all that flavor in your mouth.
I want
Yeah.
all the flavor, baby, all the flavor.
from what I understood, Dr. Takamine, quote unquote, invented the Takamine process, which is, I guess, fermenting koji and yeast at the same time. Which is what
I mean,
you
that's
all-
been-
is
No,
that what you
no,
all
no.
do?
Sake's been doing that for.
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
Martin
he
is
may-
probably
he may
trademarked
have-
Has it
in
really?
the
Okay.
US.
At
He
least.
may have like
That might have been something else I read.
Maybe
in
for
forums where I was
maybe-
like,
maybe
I'm
yeah.
not
for
sure.
distillate or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
for like
Okay.
like a whiskey mash, like a barley mash, because like I've
I think
grown.
from what I saw, I think he
have
trademarked
not-
it in the U.S. or something like that. Like did something with it for the
Okay,
U.S.
that
market.
could be.
I mean, it could be trademark, yeah, but I haven't. I know a lot of people who, and a lot of this is like chefs. So there's been this like koji research or koji renaissance, we'll say, of like in the cuisine, like culinary world, of like doing koji on stuff and doing fermented foods. So like koji barley. So they'll take pearled barley, grow koji on it.
Right.
And I imagine that's what they're doing here. They're growing
Sure.
koji on pearled barley. But I mean, you can grow koji on like most mediums with a starch, like component.
Right.
So,
And just
but
use that as an
I've only grown it on rice. I tried barley once, and I tried to grow it as I would on rice, and it didn't work. So,
If we had
really?
if we had some of that,
but this was in my homebrew days, so it's like I probably was just naive.
Now that you know more.
Yeah,
if we had some stars to start it with, you think we could grow it on Matt's beard?
probably.
Just like right here where the grays are. You do it right where the grays are.
So turn those
I'll
grapes
give
white.
you some.
These are the most fermentable right
Yeah.
here.
So
I don't want to drink it. I just want to see it grow. I want to see
you will
mushrooms.
drink it. You
I
will
want to see
drink it.
mushrooms coming out
if
of
you
it.
take some of the kasu, the sake kasu, which has koji in it, you just rub it on your beard.
Yeah.
yeah.
It'll make it look younger and youthful.
Oh wow, the fountain of youth.
He's
I
just
just
told
made
you he's
that
the
up, by
fountain of
the
youth.
way. I
Per
just
Justin.
made that up.
He's trying to get me into his fucking cult where
Yeah,
he
I want
eats
you to buy my
fungus
waist.
and turns into like Last of Us zombie and fucking runs around and tries
Is
to
this
kill
the new
everybody.
Scientology we just invented?
Hey man,
Because I want a piece of it. If
this
it is,
is
I'm saying.
Dynex
That's
2.0.
It's funkatology.
I want 10%. I
It's
want 10%.
lucrative.
It will be lucrative. You heard it here first,
Yep.
folks. He's gonna write a book, and it's gonna beat out. What the fuck is the guy that?
L. Ron Hubbard.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Oh,
Gonna beat out
God,
L.
yeah.
Ron Hubbard. Yeah. I'm glad
Well,
you remember that.
I always
I'm glad
heard
you
it.
remember
Nah,
that.
I'm very smart. I always heard it was a contest. Like him and his friends were drunk actually, and said who would come up with like a religion or whatever that people would actually
Fucking
believe.
came up with one.
Like it's
And Tom
crazy.
Cruise was like, "I'm all in."
Oh yeah. And here's
You
$1
want all my
billion.
money? Here you go.
Oh
But
my
you got to
God.
pay more to learn more about it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that doesn't make sense, but here's more money. Let's figure it
You
out.
know, they got some guys just like chain smoking and writing like stuff and they're telling them, we got another $1 million. All right, we got you, man. We got you.
You know, like video games, like mobile video games, where you have to like pay a little bit extra to like get like
Oh,
a little
the
bit
pay to
further.
win or
that was the
whatever.
fucking original. He was
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
he was ahead of his time.
They
and, like,
invented that.
yeah, mobile gaming. That's what he is.
They invented the scam.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And like what? It's Starship Earth or whatever that fucking movie was with
Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah,
my
John
God.
Travolta. Wasn't that and Forrest Whitaker? I believe was in there too.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
they
had
had
such
the
a fucking
dreadlocks
lineup,
and
then-
yeah.
it didn't
I
like.
think it was one of
Man.
the worst movies ever. Like
Ever
from
made.
from
Koji
from money
Whiskey to Scientology
production,
to
you know what I
Battlefield
mean?
Earth.
I know.
Right
That's how we
here.
tied
Didn't
in.
John
That's how we
Travolta
tied in.
like didn't?
He's a Scientologist.
But
Yeah.
he was like behind like the production of that,
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
he?
yeah,
Like he
and he's
produced
like,
it.
this is
it
great.
Cost,
This is
It
great.
cost a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
to
it was
make that movie.
I think it was at the time it was the biggest flop in history.
It was like Waterworld flop.
Yeah,
kinda
yeah,
thing
yeah,
With
yeah.
Kevin Costner, remember that one? Yeah.
Waterworld was not bad.
I just watched it last week. It's on Netflix again. I watched it last
agree.
week. It's good.
I mean, I think it's like
It's Mad Max
at
of
minimum.
water.
It's at minimum 5 out of 10. I mean, it's not
For
horrible.
sure.
Yeah,
Well, I think they just did a good job. You know,
Soft,
building the world
soft
up.
five.
Yeah, yeah.
solid.
Like a very delicate five. Like
Oh,
it's gonna crumble at any second into a 3, but I'm not sure.
I just can't believe it cost that much money to make.
I know.
It literally takes place in a pool. Like,
I think it was.
Have you seen the behind the scenes where
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
literally get a fucking pool?
Yeah.
massive pool though. It's
It's a
big.
big
Yeah.
pool.
And it's probably
My
the
daughter would love
biggest
that
pool
shit.
ever constructed.
That's what they should turn into, like an amusement park. They would have made a lot more money, honestly.
Just pay some money and drown. There's no land. You are fucked.
People have been swimming around for 13 hours. Like, I can't figure out how to get the fuck out of here. But they're recording, but we're putting this in the movie.
You make fun, but NASA trains their astronauts in a
Yeah, they
giant
do.
pool.
Yeah, and look how much money they make. Actually, they went out of business, so.
Well, I don't know if NASA makes
Thanks,
money.
Tesla.
Yeah, thanks, Tesla. Fuck you, Elon Musk.
So
Anyways,
one
go ahead.
interesting thing I saw about this, I didn't do much research. Matt got this one, but the namesake, the Takamine guy or
Yep.
whatever you say it. So he was born in 1854, and his father in 1854 was a samurai physician.
Fucking what?
I'm
That's the
like,
most badass
dude,
fucking
like
thing.
that's got to be a movie.
Well, that's
Do you
also
actually,
like,
be a movie.
kill somebody, slice
Yeah.
him, and
Well,
then be like,
Yeah,
oh, let me
he's
shoot
like,
you
wait a
in
minute,
your
I'm gonna
wound."
make you last forever. I'm gonna cut you and then sew you back up.
And then kill you again. Yeah.
samurai
physician?
was like a social class.
Well, yeah,
too.
but still,
Yeah.
samurai physician
Still.
as your
Don't
fucking
take
like
away from
under
the killing aspect of the samurai, Justin.
under your name tag says
I mean, they
samurai
were
physician.
headhunters.
You're
Don't
gonna
break
get
it down,
fucking
Justin.
laid.
Underneath the
Yeah,
samurai
oh,
name
yeah.
tag,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like Dr. Kickass or whatever. Oh, that's fucking
What was
awesome.
that movie on or the show on Cartoon Network, like Samurai Jack or something?
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
that was a great.
That was a great. That was a great. That was a
No,
great.
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I would love to
that was
be-
my only interesting fact I had. You're welcome.
Dude,
We have to make a movie. We have to
Oh,
fund a movie
100%.
about this.
100%.
if I could go back to school, I would do like samurai physicianry.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they
Oh,
need to
that.
make. They need to make.
I was like film? No,
No, yeah, samurai physicianry.
There needs to be. All right.
a new
all right.
thing.
There needs to be an anime of like, yeah, a samurai who turns like physician and basically is like, to do his surgical thing. He's like, and it's like,
He uses the sword as like his scalpel, and he's like,
or he does like the, and it's like the perfect cut.
but then it takes like 4 seconds for it to form, and it's like,
Oh yeah, it's very dramatic.
yeah, it's super dramatic. And then there's like a blue light, it's like, shing, and then it like slowly like, and then he accidentally cut him in half, and he's like,
All right,
I am
all
too
right.
good samurai.
Let's-
And then he just drinks his whiskey that he distilled because he's also a
and
distiller.
then he walks off into the Japanese sunset, and he like goes. To
I'm in for 25% leasing that idea. I'm just saying.
In the spirit of the history of this, let's workshop this. So would he have like so a surgeon has instruments
Yep.
that
Yeah.
they lay out. Would they be different types of katanas that he uses for different incisions?
He's got to have a Tori Hanzo sword from Kill Bill.
definitely.
I mean,
Gotta have that
honestly.
one. Yeah.
Number one.
that
number
is
one.
the primary one.
Yeah. If we did make a movie, Sonny Chiba has to have a
100%.
cameo in
He's
it.
gonna come back from the dead.
Tarantino has to do a soundtrack. Like we're getting him to score it.
Oh man.
I want
I
to see
mean,
how,
sure. Well, he'll keep his distance.
Yeah, but he's gonna be there.
There's gonna be some foot shots.
There's gonna be some foot shots.
There will be some foot shots.
Selma
Selma
Hayek's
Hayek's
in
gonna
it.
make it
She's
somehow
in
into the movie.
She's in it.
It's like
And she's
not
still
Japanese.
just a smoke show. This girl is.
I don't think she's aged from
Dude,
from
she doesn't. I'm pretty sure she is a vampire.
You realize this is the second
from
time
that
Yeah.
movie.
Selma Hayek has been brought up in our show
Today.
like-
Today.
well, like on camera, yeah. I think he needs to have a Hattori Hanzo scalpel
Have
that's
to.
like this big.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a 1-inch
He just
scalpel.
goes
He's
like-
Itty bitty.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, and it's like like slow motion. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. So this right here, this whiskey, wow, that was a tangent.
I was.
That's
This
what
is
I'm good
fucking.
for.
This is fucking phenomenal. This bottle was
I was gonna say how much.
$120.
Oh shit.
Okay,
Oh, shit.
that's more than I thought it
Yeah.
would
Right.
be.
I was thinking
This is-
60, 80, but
This
still.
is
I was
not a
thinking,
cheap
yeah, like
bottle.
60.
But honestly, for me, I think this is
It's imported, obviously.
this is kind of a game changer. A game changer in the way that like the flavor kind of combinations you get out of whiskey. Like I've never experienced anything like this.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
I think
this.
we all got a second
distillers,
pour.
you need some koji in your life.
We did. We
You
actually
need
all
some
got a
Yeah,
koji.
yeah.
second
Talk
pour.
to us about that.
Yeah,
all right?
talk to us. Talk to us.
But like
We all got a second pour, which
For
Or
tells
talk,
you.
or
$120.
talk to
shit.
I already forgot his name.
Jokichi Takamine.
Jokishi Takamina.
Hattori Hanzo?
Jokichi Takamine. Okay.
Dr. Samurai.
But it's
He's
8 years
dead for
age.
a couple hundred
and,
years,
like,
but
His
definitely
estate.
dead.
His
yeah,
estate.
yeah.
Yeah, this
Call
is
him
phenomenal.
up, send him a telegram or something, write, email him.
I think this is
fax.
phenomenal. I think this is
Yeah.
great. For $120.
So
I
would
bought
you?
a
So
bottle,
would you
I
buy
buy
it?
a second bottle.
Would you buy it again if you would for
would,
120?
yeah.
What about you, Justin?
I mean, I'd buy it. This is one that if I could keep stuff on my shelf long enough to like sip and savor, then I would do this.
Yeah, same.
I think I would too. I mean, even at 120, I compare that to bourbon price. So the prices have actually went up quite a bit in the past 3 years.
Retail prices. Yeah.
Retail, not secondary. Secondary's coming down. But I mean, man, I don't know. This is so unique. Like, I would love to share this with like somebody that loves whiskey, somebody that loves soju, somebody that loves vodka, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
hey,
somebody that loves like
This
trying
may
different
become
stuff.
a
Like
style.
100%. I mean, it's so flavorful. There's no burn. Like,
No, it's so
No.
easy
Yeah.
to drink, just neat.
and it's
Like,
80 proof, 80.6 or something like
Yeah,
that. Like, it's. I mean, man,
touch
that's
of
Okay. Yeah. So they do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
to
you're
interrupt
good.
you.
No. It's
I was
probably
just-
one of the most flavors you can get though from a lower proof bourbon
I
or whiskey.
agree,
You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I was just reading this because like the story itself is really fun, but they do say like method of ancient sake method to grow koji spores on barley to create maltless whiskey.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's really
Well,
cool.
if you do some research
They
on
do
this one,
say
I mean, go down
this-
the rabbit hole with that guy's name because
Yeah.
it is. He has a
Dude,
very
I've heard
interesting
this
story.
story
Maybe
before,
a
and it's
limited
really
series
fun.
on Netflix
Yeah.
or something
Oh,
we
yeah.
can do with him. Just
like a
4 to 6 episodes.
mini-series? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it should be just a series like called Just Before Their Time, and this would be one
Call.
episode. This quote: "This may become a style of American whiskey by 1895."
Jesus Christ.
By when?
1895.
Oh.
if not for misfortune, this
got-
may
There's a lot
have
of misfortune, I suppose.
Yeah, we got a little while till 1895. That's a weird thing to put on the bottom.
rewind the episode to hear about the misfortune.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm not gonna say this is gonna revolutionize whiskey, but I love this.
mean, it's
as
just a
something
different way of- yeah, it's
it
a
is,
different way
but
of
it's
doing it.
fantastic. I would love to try some different.
I feel like this
iterations.
needs to be on bars if you go out somewhere. Like, if you look at some of our friends at the Mashup podcast, they do a pass, try, and buy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, I don't think anybody's passing on this.
No,
I
hell
think
no.
it's at least a try.
Oh,
So
I'd definitely buy it. I put it on my
I would
shelf.
buy it too, but
Yeah.
I think if you're like on a bar, this would be a great piece. Like, hey, guy, I don't know what I want to drink. Somebody
Yeah.
comes in, hey,
Right.
let me pour you a little half ounce. Like, try this. See what you
Yeah.
think. Oh shit, that's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
agree.
Then
But
if you
like,
can make
The
a
half ounce is
cocktail,
like $15, bro.
quarter ounce, quarter ounce, look at quarter ounce.
You can have
But
like Pappy
we're
Ted
going to
here.
upsell them, Brand. Hold on. We got a cocktail with this. It's only $30. You know what I mean?
Fuck. Yeah.
I'll
But
just take
for
the
you,
deconstructed
25.
cocktail and just drink this.
You're our VIP.
Yeah, oh,
exactly.
congratulations.
Very
No, I mean-
important peon.
I could see this like becoming like more popular, but like
Yeah.
the thing is, in Japan they have like literal machines that can like make koji for you.
Hey, yeah, it's
And
taking
it
over,
is-
baby.
It's very commonplace.
It's not
like
as handmade
here
as
in
it used to
America.
be
Like,
back in the day.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably people that are making it by hand, but I mean, I guess my point is the infrastructure for koji is a lot more like commonplace than
Right.
here.
You think
There's-
John Connor is the one that heads their department?
Christ.
I think it is. It's
Yeah,
gotta be.
certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I went to the future to find out, and that's
I was
what I
about to
found
say.
out. Yeah.
Well, what,
I will be back.
But like, I don't know. Like this could be like, I mean, distillers talk to your
I mean,
fellow sake brewers.
Yeah, yeah.
we can make some
We've
for
had
you.
an inquiry, and I'm like, who's going to be the first one to make
Yeah.
Koji bourbon? You can do
Ooh,
it.
Good call.
ooh,
Good call.
maltless koji bourbon.
I'm in. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. I think we're unanimously in. This is fucking stellar. So check out your Koji
Holler at
whiskey.
your boy.
Yeah, at your local big box store. Actually, local liquor
Holler
store.
at
I
Void
guess.
Sake.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. For more Arsenic Culture, you can check us out on all the socials. We are at Arsenic Culture, and we will see you on the next one.